Welcome to Elementary Statistics. From this class, you will be based out of Blackboard and MyStatLab. So the first thing we're going to cover in this tutorial is Blackboard itself. Please note that there's an announcement when you first log on to Blackboard. This is the initial announcement, and all future announcements will be found on MyStatLab. I'll show you how to access those in just a few minutes. The first thing you need to do is obviously read the announcement, and then I would like you to go to course information and getting started on the left hand side of the page. The most important thing on this is the syllabus. Once you click on the link for the syllabus, it'll download to your computer and it will pull up looking like this. The syllabus states my office hours, my cell phone, and my email. I do accept text messages, so that would be fine. It has your book information, which, let's make a special note right now, you do not have to purchase a hardback book for this class. You do, however, need to purchase MyStatLab. MyStatLab can be purchased through the Pearson Publishing website, or you can purchase it through the bookstore. We will talk about that in a second, so we'll get there in a few minutes. But the important thing about this syllabus is down at the bottom, when you keep scrolling, you'll see that there is a calendar. On the calendar, all of our due dates for every day that we have an assignment are posted. Those due dates are due at midnight on each of those days. Please be sure to print off the syllabus so that you can access that at any time. The next thing we're going to talk about is MyStatLab access. So when you first access MyStatLab, you'll see that on here you have some information that you need to know. The book, but primarily you have a MyStatLab handout. So the MyStatLab handout looks like this. It'll tell you exactly how to register for this class on MyStatLab. Notice that you are going to need the course instructor ID, which is located right here. Please just follow the directions and you can sign in just easily enough. Another important thing to know about MyStatLab is that if you are waiting on financial help, then what you need to see is that you have 17 days of temporary access to MyStatLab. That means you have more than 2 weeks worth of time on MyStatLab before you actually have to pay for it. So I recommend logging on immediately and getting started with the work instead of waiting for financial assistance. Please take care of that immediately. So it's nice to know that you can access MyStatLab immediately right from Blackboard, and all you do is click on MyStatLab and it will load on a separate page. Then you'll simply follow the directions. In my case, I'll just log on and go to Elementary Statistics, and we'll have our class right here. So when it loads, it'll load to a course home, and it will show you a calendar at the top. Notice that for the first week you have your assignments. You can see them with a little bubble, and when you hover over it, it tells you exactly what's due. Notice that your upcoming assignments can also be found right here underneath it, and it tells you when your next assignment is due. It'll keep track of your progress, and there's a general announcement on checking your browser to make sure everything's going to work properly, and other features that MyMathLab has to help make things better for you. So now we're going to move on to the announcements, which is the tab right underneath Course Home. And under the announcements, you'll see that we have several messages already. The first is a welcome to Elementary Statistics note, and the second is a note on the live tutoring. So basically what the live tutoring says is if you come down here under Course Tools, you'll see a Chat and Class Live button. So if we ever need to use this, and if you need any kind of tutoring, this will be the platform that we work off of, you'll simply click Join Session. When you click on Join Session, you'll come up with a little Launch Lead session on your computer. You'll need to follow the directions that are on there to open it. Once you open it, it will look like this. From here, I can write anytime I need to on the screen, say, "Hi, students." Okay. And you can simply see what I'm writing, and then we'll use a phone conversation to talk back and forth. So back up to our announcements. There are your two links on your announcements. Again, here are the announcements from the course itself that will help you get better acclimated to what you're doing on here. The next thing we're going to talk about is homework. You'll have at least 2 homework assignments every week. Most weeks you have 3. I've tried to break it up so there's not very much. But what you need to know is that first there's an orientation homework. This is not worth any points, but it'll help get you acclimated to My Stat Lab so that you can do better in this class. When you click on the homework, you'll notice that you have to watch the videos and the media that's associated with it before you can answer any of the questions. Now here's the important thing to know about this media. The media will explain everything to you. It will explain how to do everything, it'll give you examples, and it's a great way to learn the material. Some of the videos are very engaging and will show you how to use the technology when needed. There's also technology help, and you'll notice that some of these links off to the side have a book. That is the book for you to check out. So we'll load that for a second so you can see what your online book will look like. And this is what the book looks like. This is 1.1 Statistics Basics. And then you can simply scroll down and see what the book looks like. You can also change the page if you need to, and it's just like a regular book. So again, you must access all of the media, watch all the presentations before doing the homework. I will at some times upload different media for you to see, like for example if I do a PowerPoint video, then you'll have that as well. The next thing we need to talk about are written assignments. Every week you'll have a written assignment as I stated before. Here are the additional notes that you'll need on written assignments and examples of what good work and bad work looks like. So you have to show work for every problem. If you don't show work, you're going to lose points on your assignment. So to access the first assignment, you simply go to Written Assignment 1, and when you click on it, it's going to automatically download to your computer. Simply write out each problem, show your work, and submit it electronically. The next thing we're going to talk about is StatCrunch. And StatCrunch, when it opens, is a data analysis that you can use for this class. So as we get into the semester later on, you'll be able to see that. The next thing under StatCrunch is chapter contents. You'll find the chapter contents, and all you simply do is click on and it'll load each chapter manually. If you don't want to hunt through the book, you can go through to each particular section. So if we needed to go specifically to section 1.2, you could click on that as well. You also have some tools for success that you can check out. And you have different Java applets that you can view. You have StatCrunch. And notice that there's several technology manuals to use as well. In case you need any kind of help, I would suggest starting here. There's also a multimedia library that you can check out. And here you'll see that if there's any videos or any kind of PowerPoints that you can check out that will go along with the chapters that we're discussing. If for some reason you don't like the way that I tutor or the way that I teach, you're more than welcome to access the Pearson Tutor services. These will give you detailed assistance on what you need. The next thing on here is discussions. The discussion will happen every week. This week it's called Discussion Board 1. But before you do Discussion Board 1, please make sure you sign into the Student Lounge and introduce yourself. For Discussion Board 1, you'll simply click on it, and then you'll go to Respond. The discussion board is worth 10 points every week. You get 6 points for doing your initial post and answering all of the questions that are asked, and then you get 4 additional points by the end of the week for posting a response to at least 2 of your classmates. You can do more, but you must do at least 2 to get full credit. Your initial response is due by Wednesday at midnight, and your response posts are due by Sunday at midnight. You can also check your email if you'd like to. And last thing on here everybody wants to know is the gradebook. And your gradebook will load just by clicking on Gradebook, and you can see your results or whatever you had for that corrected assignment. Any work that's returned to you for your written assignments will be returned to you via email, but your grades will all show up in MyStatLab. That's a general overview of MyStatLab. There is one additional thing I want to make sure you know, and that's about a calculator. Everyone should have a calculator for this class. If you don't have a calculator and you don't want to purchase a calculator, you can rent a calculator. Just go to Book Renter Calculator in your Google bar and it'll come up with the TI-84 graphing calculator. Please note that you can rent this calculator for $55 for the entire semester. For that price, you save $84 where you wouldn't have to buy it. So if this is an option for you, you can also use this website to rent a book in the event that you would also like to have a book. That pretty much sums up everything you need to know for Blackboard and MyStatLab. If you have any questions, I'm always here to help. My email and my phone number can be found on Blackboard or on the Ranger College website. I look forward to working with all of you this semester. Good luck!